Okay, guys, I want to talk to you just a minute about what you're doing with these personal loans. I have a question first. What are you doing with these personal loans? You've got to stop the insanity. When I see stuff like this, I think to myself, okay, why do we not know that you could get a line of credit and do this? Obviously this person needed some money. They whatever, things come up. We need stuff, right? We need, and we get in these situations to where um we've got to run out because we need money now. Maybe it's a major car repair you have to have done. um Maybe your house is going to go into foreclosure and you've got to, or maybe you've got payments that are late for the month and you've got to have some money. So we run out to these high interest loan companies. I could sit here and name them. I won't because they'll get mad at me. But you run out and you get these loans, and these loans right here are at 13 and 14%, which if you do the real numbers on that, you could be running into hundreds of percents. When we talk about the checks in the mail, they'll tell you on the back of the check that they're sending you in the mail that it's a 38% loan. Well, that ends up being possibly over 300% interest that you're paying. So when we run out and we get these 13 and 14% loans, you're talking maybe 100%. It just depends on what kind of, what kind of amortization schedule they're setting you up in. But let's just say that it's 13 or 14%, which we know that's a lie from the devil because the interest is already calculated into these monthly payments. So this guy's monthly payment is $379. Well, let's just do some math, okay? Let's act like that this is a 48-month loan at $379. Well, let's see, 48 times 379, that's $18,192. You're sitting there thinking right now, there's no way that he has $18,192 to pay back for about an $8,000 loan. You would be so surprised. You would be so super surprised at what you may be paying back that you're not even paying attention to because you're looking at the monthly payment. Okay. So for you guys who are paying, maybe $150 a month for some kind of check in the mail that you got. Think about that for a minute. Do the math. It's just math. Okay. Do the math. I know I hate it too, but do it. If you, okay, $150, let's say you have a payment for $150 a month on some crazy little check in the mail that you got, and it's for a 36-month payoff. So times 36, that's $5,400. So did you get about 2,200? But you're going to be paying back 5,400 all day long. I see it all day long. So when we're in a payment mentality, I know you are, a payment mentality. Well, it's just $150 a month. I have $200 a month in cash flow, so I can afford that. But did you do the math? Do you know how much you're actually paying back? And does that really matter? I mean, does it matter? It's just $150 a month. That's exactly the way they want you to look at it. It's just $150 a month. I got a whole $2,000 and I only have to pay back $150 a month. See, I know how you think because I always thought that way too. But what happens if we really know how to use the tools at the bank and we realize that we could be out of this so much faster than we ever thought was possible? This person is paying $745 a month right now for a balance of $14,211. There has to be an easier way. When I read his worksheet, I was like, this is just another person that thought they were doing the right thing because they needed money. So they went out and they didn't take out one, they ended up with two of these crazy loans that seem like, you're never going to get out of it because $14,000 is a lot of money if you're only making a little bit of money a month. Now, this person is making pretty good money. He's making $7,800 a month, but he's in these things and he has more than this. I'm just showing you these two because I want to show you, had he just gotten a line of credit instead of these high interest loans, how much faster he would be out of this debt. And if I were to tell you that he could be out of both of these within 5 months, would you even believe that? Because he still has like 2.5, 3 years left on this stuff. So it's just the tools you're using. They're taking so advantage of us because we are ignorant to how this is set up. And once you get a little bit wise, you don't have to be like a mathematician to figure this out. It's just a little bit of information that you need to let you know that, you know what, those tools at the bank work a little bit differently. So this guy's going to be out of debt, out of his whole debt. He had a lot of debt. These were just two. But with his numbers and, his income, he's going to be out of debt in less than 18 months. Easy. Probably closer to, by December, if he does the velocity banking the way it is meant to do, okay? Or meant to use, or if he just uses the strategy, whatever you want to call it. The fact is he just didn't know any better. But he's well on his way today to getting out of debt very quickly because now he has knowledge of how these tools work. He's been educated, okay? So when you think about getting educated, you're talking about in, not just one area, but in several areas so that you can turn your financial life from the chaos that he's feeling right now. You could tell he was so overwhelmed and that this was just really big to him. When I look at the worksheet, I'm like, you don't have any problems. You just got to get into the correct tool that's going to help you get out of this situation. And it's going to happen very quickly if you'll keep studying the velocity banking concept and apply it. Okay. So for you guys who are watching right now, the point is that if you're in this situation, then you're going to see how quickly this guy is going to be out of his mess. And you may be doing the exact same thing. And you just really don't have a clue. And it's a sad thing you don't have a clue. Oh my gosh, I have to stop here. So if you all are in my Facebook group, then you saw where I did the post yesterday about the local high school here. They're bringing the banks to the high school students. I said it. When I saw that post yesterday, thanking, and I'm not going to use names, but thanking this local bank here for coming in and teaching the seniors in real life simulation of how to fill out the applications, I'm like, wow, wow. I'm sorry. I just remembered that. And I was so frustrated last night because it is so sad that they're taking our high school students before they ever even get a job, some of them. And they're like, okay, you're about to adult. So you got to go to the bank and you got to do this and you got to do that. And you know what? If you need a car, this is how you take out a car loan. This is what we're going to need for you to be approved for that car loan. I mean, what? What? Oh, wow. I have so many thoughts going through my head. It is so unfair. They are being set up to fail just like we were. And you know what? After 4 decades, almost four, not quite, of being surrounded and brainwashed by this system, then you get the light at the end of the tunnel of, wait a minute, what? I've been 40 years being covered up, swallowed whole by something that I had to be swallowed whole by. And the whole time there was an answer. And the whole time there was a better solution. And then once the bright light came on through, thank God, Matthew Pillmore, who happened to share that on his channel that day, it took me about 8 months to get everything in order, under control, and almost paid off. And I had spent decades crying, frustrated, couldn't breathe because I was so covered up in debt and did not know that there was even an option to get out. I give up. I don't give up. It's like I have got to get this out to the high schools in my area anyway, that you do not have to step right into a bank and just start thinking everything you ever wanted is sitting at the bank, and you just got to go there and fill out an application and get your money and go pay for your stuff. Oh my goodness. That's so frustrating to me. That is not what I came on here to talk about. I came on here to talk about this and how you don't have to do the loans. But when I saw that, high school, and they've already been trained, we've got to get a student loan. We've got to get a student loan. We've got to get a student loan. We have to get the student loan. And so they're already probably already got their applications done for that one. And they thanking the bank. Oh, thank you so much for taking your time to come over here and train our little high school students how to do this. Thank you for taking your time to come over here. I know it's all about your time. I know, you took your time to waste to come over here and teach people how that they're going to get a loan and you're going to make millions on top of millions on top of millions more than you've already taken the American people for. And guess what? Here's some fresh new meat for you. Train them in the way they should go. And when they're old, they won't leave from it. Right? I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't want to put anybody in chains. I don't want anybody to feel like they're a slave to anything. And I feel like that when you are slipping the noose around somebody's neck and they don't even know you're doing it, trapping you in a prison that for their whole life they may not realize they didn't even have to be in the prison. I'm sorry. Yes, financial conditioning. Jesus, you have always got it right. Anyway, that's so sad to me. Let us go on here now and talk about what we were going to talk about. So with this person, and I did tell him we're starting the classes tomorrow night. They start at 9 p.m. Eastern time because I'm starting late so that the West Coast, you all be out of work and be able to join us if you want to. But we're going to talk about things like this. We're going to talk about the loans and the lines and how they're different, why they're different. We're going to talk about strategies and how to get you out of the loans and into the lines so you can start paying off debt. We're going to have an infinite banking practitioner come in, and they're going to be talking to us for a couple of classes. We're going to have Money Max come in, and they're going to be talking to us. You're going to be able to ask questions to these speakers that are coming in. Get your questions answered. We're going to be working with some individual worksheets. If you don't care to have your numbers if you don't care to have your numbers discussed in front of the group, then we'll talk about your individual numbers anonymously, even so that you can get some answers that you're looking for on your own worksheets. We're going to have the first lien lenders come in, and they're going to be talking to you about, what the first lien HELOC looks like. So we're going to just fill these classes for 4 weeks. It'll be all of April on Wednesdays and Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to be filling information into these classes so that by the May 1st, you are going to have all the information that I know, because we're going to pour into the class members. We're going to pour into you guys. We're going to get you educated about everything that I possibly can, that I know, that I've learned through the positions that I'm in now. And just, really fill you up and see if we can't get you so educated that you're going to come out of the mindset that you were trained in, and you're going to see a whole new world of finances and what it looks like. Okay. That's the whole point of me offering these classes when I do, which I have not offered any this year. Have I offered any this year? Did I do one in January? I maybe did one already. Not sure. I think so. Okay. So I have had one this year. But this is a new one. We're starting tomorrow night. Like I said, April 7th, 2nd. I can't believe it's April 1st. Am I supposed to do an April Fool's joke? I wish I was doing an April Fool's joke and that wasn't true about the banks coming into the high schools in this area, but that was absolutely the truth. And I'm so frustrated and flustered with that I can't stay on subject of what I came on here to talk about. So, okay. If this person had used a line of credit, what would that look like for him? And what ideas that I give him about taking the balance that he has now with this $745 in payments that he's making out every single month. What does that look like? This, if it was transferred into a line of credit, which for him is going to be very easy because I know the banks that he's going to be working with in his area. This is going to be paid off. This payment's going to go away because once he moves it into a line of credit, he's going to be able to take his income, which let's say is $7,000 a month. It is in his situation, and he's going to be able to pay this down. So when he's paying this down, his income's going into this line every month. He doesn't have any payments because it's satisfied when this income goes in. So with his cash flow, and he had with this, he's going to have about $2,000 a month in cash flow. Well, let's take 7211, divide it by 2,000. That means in 3.6 months, this balance is going to be paid off. He had 36 months left in this. I think that's pretty awesome. So in less than 4 months, this is going to be gone, meaning that he's had about 5 months in the whole thing. Now his expenses are going to come back out of this, and he's going to be paying, groceries. If he goes to the grocery store today, it will come out of this account. If he goes and buys gas today, it will come back out of this account. If he has another credit card to pay, which he does, that will come back out of this account. So it's going to start adding back up, and then when he gets paid again, that 7,000, if that's a balance in here at that time, will go back in and work the balance back down again. Then he's going to start charging back out. You're kind of using the new line of credit as your checking account. Your income goes into it, just like yours does right now in your checking, and then you're writing checks or making debits out of this account. Okay? So you're doing it right now with your checking account. Just think if you were to use a line of credit instead. Okay? I hope that this helped a little bit. I hope that you didn't say that, Jared. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Oh, I thought you were being real because I'm like, Jared, do you believe that? Because I don't think you do. I think that you're just messing with us here because you're usually like a big fan. He's down here saying it's a scam. Not math. Okay. All right. So I'm with you guys here. You guys make me happy because you understand, and I appreciate all of the support for the channel. But the fact is that it's the truth. You may not want to accept it as the truth because you might be brainwashed into thinking that, hey, it's a really big move to make to go from using the bank the way we were taught to doing this. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just you've got to change the way you're looking, your perspective about everything is your perspective. It's the way you see the world. But once you learn to change your perspective on whatever that is, it could change your whole life. So if you have a negative attitude and you decide to start looking at things positively, then you're like, wow, that changed my life because it took my stress off because I'm no longer upset over this, or this because my perspective's changed. And when you change how you're looking at your finances and you realize I've been so stressed out and weighted down over this, The whole time it was right here available for me in this perspective. That's all you're doing is you're just learning how you're changing your mind about, hey, maybe I was taught wrong. And then looking at the new options and you're like, that makes all the sense. Oh, guess what? Maybe just maybe, they were trying to keep me a slave. Maybe they were trying to, steal my wealth. you know, I don't know. I just think that it's super awesome that, oh, Jared, I was going to say, I knew that you were you were on board. So I was like, okay, I'm going to let that go a minute. But I just appreciate you. And when you decide that, hey, I'm going to think for myself for a minute, and you just kind of look at what's being taught on the Velocity channels, I'm not the only teacher. I just decided to share with you what I'm actually doing in my own life. And me sharing that with you gives you an opportunity to see things at a different, in a different way. And I hope that it changes your life the way it did mine, because I tell you what, I get excited every day. Money is no longer something that I look at as stressful. And I actually say money is a beautiful tool, because now it can be used for giving and helping people instead of just seeing how I'm going to make that next payment. I want you guys out of that too. I appreciate you, Ray. I'm sorry I haven't got to read all of your comments today. I have totally been covered up today, and I'm getting ready to go into another meeting that's super important. So I just want you guys to know that I am totally praying for this channel, praying for you guys to have your eyes opened and your stress relieved, because I don't want anybody to be stressed out. Okay. Thank you so much, Spence. Let's say hello, Christy. Love your videos. I want to learn velocity banking, but I don't have a cash flow and I've maxed out credit cards. So how can I make this work? Spence, you have a couple of options. Keep watching the videos. Maybe you could also check into Money Max. There is a webinar tonight, Money Max webinar. Oh, let me put the link for the classes. So I'm going to put Christy's classes, and they start tomorrow night. Wednesday night is the beginning, and you can register here if you're interested in that, if I can get it to go. Okay. And then the Money Max, that webinar is tonight if you want to learn more about that as well. Completely forgot we were doing that, but that's tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. No, the 7 p.m. Central Time. So that's 8 p.m. Eastern. And you're welcome to join here as well. So I'll put that in here. All right, guys, I am going to jump off of here and get ready for my next meeting. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope that this makes sense to you. I'm sorry for doing the rant over the banks coming into the high schools, but I don't want the people to think that they only have one option, and it's to move into getting completely tied down and weighted down with things that you do not have to use. You do not have to use loans, and I just really don't want anyone to feel financially strapped. I have such emotion wrapped around that. Okay. All right, guys, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.